This is the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Realty Exchange, the top-performing real estate company in the Huntington, West Virginia Tri-State Area. Each week, your host, W.G. Bunch, and his guests share memories and stories about the past, the present, and the future of the Huntington Tri-State Area. That's Huntington, West Virginia, Ashland, Kentucky, and the Chesapeake and Proctorville, Ohio areas. If you used to live here or you currently live here, you're going to catch yourself saying out loud, "Wow, I remember that." Now, here's WG.
Hey. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, I just sounded like the Jolly Green Giant.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a scary sound.
Sorry about that. Anyway, hi, W.G. Bunch, your host for the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine. Here we are. There you are. Guess who else is here? It is, of course, Vanessa Hankins. Vanessa, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I am fine.
We haven't seen each other for a little bit.
I know.
All these holidays are getting in the way.
Yes, and yes, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
It is.
Yes, so
at least feels like it. Anyways.
This is going to be kind of a short episode. This is a bonus episode for our VIP listeners.
That's all of them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Ooh.
I just put my foot in my mouth. I'm sorry. Yes, and yes, the teacher episode is coming. It's coming right after this episode. Don't worry.
And it's good.
Yes, I mean
we had a lot of fun.
Can't believe how they threw those kids under a bus, but that's a different story. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about here. This thing I got into, 2007, something like that.
Holy moly, it's been a while.
Long time ago.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And
I feel like it's wild that I'm still learning crazy things about you.
A teacher friend of mine contacted me and said, "Hey, here's what I'm doing. I'm putting together a week of, local business people to come into the class." She taught, I think, first or second grade. For them to come in and read a book to the kids.
Yeah.
Which means I'm a teacher who doesn't want to put together an entire lesson plan.
Don't throw them under the bus like that.
Well, anyway, I'm just kidding.
They need breaks too.
And I do know she listens, so I'm just playing with you. But anyway, and I said, and she said, I've got this attorney and this judge, and I was like,
what do you want me for?
I said, I said, can I do something else? And she was, yeah, like what? Let me think about it, and thought about it, and then decided, I would like to dress like an elf. Oh, also.
Oh, you thought about it, not her.
No, me. Yeah.
You came up with this.
Yeah, and also, no kids for this episode. No kids for this earmuffs. Not because of profanity, because I don't want.
We don't want to ruin the magic.
Exactly. So, and I said, what if I just come in and just kind of freestyle it? And she's like, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And I'll answer questions about the North Pole and. So,
I love it.
And so I went in and just clowned around and so it started a long time ago and
you're like basically a pro at this point. I didn't realize you had been doing it this many years.
Yeah, and then COVID hit, and so I took 3 or 4 years off.
I'm guessing that's probably why I didn't realize. Okay.
It was something where it didn't work, and I had teachers because after the first year I only did her class, and then the second year 3 or 4 other teachers contacted me.
Oh, info spreads like wildfire through teachers.
I know her, and she says you're great. Can you come do my class? Sure, why not? Then the next year you're doing 12. Then the next year
24.
Yeah. So this year This year I'm doing 19, I believe, and it's been cut off and stuff. And it'll be about 350 kids.
Yeah, easily with 19.
Yeah, and
That's almost a full month of classes for me.
And I do it all in 1 week.
Holy moly!
And I don't let the classes cannot combine.
Yeah,
they can't mix. It can't be like.
Well, it's hard. It's hard. I don't think a lot of people that don't teach or are not in a classroom setting don't realize how overwhelming anywhere from 15 to 18 kids can be for one human.
Oh, I can imagine.
To manage.
Yeah.
So I could see how there's no way you would interact with each of those kids if you combined classes.
And I have to. I'm not just saying this. I have yet to go to a class where I felt the kids were out of control or anything.
Right.
And they love their teachers. They love them.
Yes.
So
and that's a solid age. Like, that's why I love my job. Second grade is
I only go up to second grade, so I do pre-K, kindergartners, first graders, second graders, and then I cut it off. Because once I get
that's perfect, because that's when kids start asking questions, or maybe older siblings have already told them, or they heard on the bus.
When I'm on in a third grade class, I feel like I'm on the people's court.
Absolutely.
Because they're just like, okay, next question. Mm-hmm. How in the world could this happen? And this, and I'm like, okay, just first, there's not a question I haven't heard.
Yes.
I mean, I remember one teacher. I'm not bragging, but I remember one teacher saying, "It's kind of scary how well you lie." I was like, I'm trying to be.
Your girlfriend needs to watch out.
I know. I was like, I'm trying to be an elf here. What do you want me to do? Tell him.
Thinking like an elf.
I mean, good gravy. But yeah, the very first year I did it, I remember there was this kid, and he was like the biggest kid in the class, and as soon as I got up, like, they have like these little stages or podiums, not podiums, stage, whatever, risers.
Right.
Yeah, where the teacher in front of the smart board and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I went up there, and the biggest kid in the class said, "You're not an elf. You're just a guy in an elf costume." And I went, "You're not a kid. You're a kid in a kid costume." And he was like, "Whoa, wait a second." How dare you come back at me? And I was like, I said, "Yeah, that's right." Anyway, so
you must be an elf, because an adult wouldn't have said that.
And he asked a ton of questions, and
did he believe once it was all said and done?
When it was over, it was right before they went to lunch, and so the teacher said, "Everybody, single file line, time for lunch. We got to tell Dubba goodbye, Merry Christmas," and all that stuff. And their jaws are dropped, and their eyes are bugged. They look like chihuahuas.
Oh, no, it's over.
Yeah, and this big dude runs over to. Oh, and also I take a photo with the kids before I leave, and this kid.
I hope you're documenting this, like.
They're on the Facebook page and stuff like that. This kid, who's as big as a baby linebacker, he runs over to me. I'm surprised I didn't have to get a hip replacement.
Aww.
And he's like right up on me, and I was like, "Oik, okay." And then they get into the single file line, and then they're in the single file line, and then he runs back over by himself, and I was like, "Oh God, this kid's gonna tackle me again. What is going on?" And he comes over and he tells me to come down, and he whispers and he says, "Tell Santa that I believe in him."
Oh, and that right there makes it worth it.
And just pure instinct. All I did is I just winked at him, and that was it.
You are so good at that.
I don't park in the parking lot or where the teachers park or where any student. I park purposely blocks away, so that they see me walking away.
I love that.
Because that way they're like, if they see me get into a Cadillac, They're going to go.
What's that?
I knew this dude was fake.
With the Realty Exchange on the front.
Yeah, exactly. Realty Exchange on the front, and they're like, Realty? What the heck?
What a weird elf.
Yeah, and then that was on my
adorable.
very first one, and then
No wonder you've been doing it so long. Like, how could you quit after that?
I loved it, and I remember another quick story. And don't worry, we're going to get into our favorite Christmas movies. And,
we'll do the Christmas.
Yeah, we're going to do.
I'm learning about Dubba.
We're going to do that stuff, but one of the oh gosh.
Who picked the name?
I kind of pulled it out a few different times, and then a good friend of mine, Jean Bartram, she actually made an ornament for me that said Dubba.
Oh, okay.
Because WG.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So instead of like Buddy the Elf and that kind of stuff. But so Jean Bartram, thank you very much. Yes, I'm permanently Dubba because of you.
I love that.
But also in those first few years, obviously I can't. I'm not going to name the classes or the teachers or any of that kind of stuff. But I did a class, and on the opposite from this past story, this was the littlest kid in the class, this little girl who wouldn't say a word and just looked at me.
Just like timid.
Yeah.
Love her heart.
Yeah, and all that stuff. And it was something where I was getting ready to leave, and she went over and whispered to the teacher, and the teacher came over to me and said, she wants to know if she can give you a hug.
Oh.
And I said, yeah, of course. And so she came over and gave me a hug and just grabbed onto my leg like
Right.
It was awesome. But the thing was, the teacher started crying.
This was uncharacteristic of this little girl.
She
She
said
felt safe.
she lived with her grandmother and her sister, and they did not have enough money for a Christmas tree. So inside their trailer, the grandmother gave them permission to draw a picture of a Christmas tree with any ornaments they want on it, just on the wall. And she said, you have made her, and this was probably kindergarten or first grade, and
She's not going to forget that her whole life, and that's what the holidays are about, in my opinion. It's not. It's a whole big thing every year this year, and I have a question about it here in a minute for you. But it's always this, teach your kids not to ruin it for the other kids that still believe.
Yeah,
I
think that's. I think that's that. It's good, but
we're heavy on like the kindness. The mom and dad are responsible for the expensive gifts. Santa brings like the cool, made by the elves gifts. But the expensive stuff, that's from us. But we are big in our house that Christmas is about giving more than receiving, 100%.
Yeah.
And for that little girl, I'm sitting here listening to you, that's the only thing she could give was that hug and that admiration for you in that moment. And I feel like we're getting very serious, but I get very fired up over children. You know how much I love doing my youth stuff.
The Safety Channel
That's
queen.
what it's about.
I asked the teacher, I said, give me their address. I'm sending him a tree. And she said, illegal. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't even give you her name or anything. I was like, what if I sent a toy to everybody? And she said, you cannot send. It's like,
Right.
It was like the NCAA used to be, where it was like, you can't get paid to play.
Right.
That's how I guess it still is. It's like,
Yeah,
because
it's the same way.
that was my first thing is if she's not going to get some toys, let me. And I won't say they're from me, but can't I give them to her? Give them to
It's
her
so
grandmother?
hard. Yeah, it's so hard, especially for the teachers that are the ones, we have kids when it starts getting cold that will show up with no jackets, and they will straight up tell you, and that they, with this age group of going into these classrooms, they tell you everything, whether you want to know it or not. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be ugly, it could be hilarious, it could make your fucking day, whatever. But I keep extra coats in the classroom for that. And it's great because these teachers know their kids. So they know who was just being lazy and didn't bring their coat to school.
Right.
And they know who straight up does not have a coat.
Right.
So I send them back with them. So at least for that day, whether they lose it or whatever happens,
Right.
they have a coat while they're at Safety Town and they don't have to think about being cold.
Right.
So
Right.
all about the kids.
Right.
100%.
So, all right, let's take a little detour. Because we're here to entertain you, but it's that time of year, it's very sentimental and that kind of stuff. All right, I'm stretching.
I just can't wait for everybody to see this photo that we took before this. The
yes.
outfit is great.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, I had it. I had the same outfit and wore it for 12 years, and I was finally like,
Need a new
there's
one?
there's nothing I could do with this thing, and I got it, and I actually got another one, which was not good. It was too bulky. It was like a Santa Claus thing. It was too bulky and stuff. So
Yeah, elves aren't bulky.
I just
They're tiny.
got a new one of the old model, which is the Will Ferrell thing.
Yeah,
So,
I like it.
Yeah. So, all right, let's do this. Everybody answer at home.
Yes.
Or in the car.
Do it.
Try to guess our answers. We'll give you a couple seconds to ponder it. How many trees, Christmas trees, does Vanessa have in her house? Total. I mean, tall, well, not little baby trees, but
Baby trees need to count.
what would that be, like 3 feet or
No,
2
there's
feet?
like 1 foot ones.
Okay, so 1 foot or more.
I feel like I just gave myself away on that.
Yeah, I have a feeling you have a 1 foot tree. But okay, everybody try to guess. How many Christmas trees does Vanessa have?
Okay, I was wrong. I've been telling people when we talk about this all this month. I've been telling them a number, and I was wrong. It's more.
Okay, how many?
I have 10.
What?
That's counting my few because I have a picture window.
Inside
3
or
foot-
inside and outside?
Inside and outside. So I have back porch, front porch, 3 in my picture window. 2 of the little 1 foot ones in Carly's room. We have our big one upstairs, a skinny one in the dining room, and another tall, skinny one in the basement. How many is that? Am I missing one?
It's a lot.
There's a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
So Brandon grew up in a home. Shout out to his mom that made Christmas everything. Like, her house is beautiful, and then when it's decorated for Christmas, it's even more beautiful. So I was not big on Christmas. Halloween is my jam. Everybody knows that. But it has grown on me, and the comfort of Christmas and all the decor and all the trees is a thing.
Okay.
And now I kind of love it. It's grown on me.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
How many do you have?
How many do I have? I have. I don't have more.
Why are you making me feel weird
No,
that I have so many?
Well, I think I don't know. I think a lot of people have multiple trees. It's just.
I have another one in the kitchen too.
You have a tree in your
It's
kitchen?
a small one. It's like 1.5 feet in the window.
Gravy.
And the elf has her own tree too. Bella the elf has a tree. Do we add that one?
Bella the elf. That's your elf on the shelf?
Yeah, that was going to be my question for you.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and finish this.
I
and then
have.
we'll get back to that.
I have 4. I have 4. but it's not obnoxious. It's not like you walk into the White House and they're lined up and so. No,
See, my house is not like that either. They're broken up.
what happens is
You have a lot of things you love.
I have a tree, and then all of a sudden the lights go out, and I'm like, I am not going to sit here and test each bulb.
You need one of the little guns.
I have one of those guns, and they don't work.
Yes, they do. That's what I've been doing for like a solid 3
God, they
weeks.
don't
My
work.
fingers are like cut from changing out bulbs.
This is going to really come out wrong. I just go get another tree, and then I put the broken tree in another room.
Another corner.
Yeah, and
So are yours all four themed?
Kinda. I mean, I have.
Your face right now is a little.
My dad lives with me, and so Dad and I have a tree where it's like, I think it's funny because he loves Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And the fact that Tom Brady got traded to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and now he's retired. He has all these New England Patriots things that I'm like,
He didn't even play for them when he left. Dad.
yeah, I'm like, do you still want to hang these? He's like, of course I do. I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah, and but so we share a tree with like things where we kind of have to ask each other,
Do you still
are
love
you
this
okay
one?
with me hanging this one? Yep. Are you okay with me hanging this? Yeah, that's fine. And then and then there are other rooms nobody goes in, but
Yeah.
you accumulate so many. I'm not going to say stupid decorations, but so
Trinkets.
many. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yes, there. I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. There is a there is a Kiss tree.
I assume that one.
There is a Star Wars tree.
I assume that one.
And there is a sports tree, which is
okay.
my University of Houston Cougars and Marshall.
Gotcha.
And his Florida Gators.
That one I wasn't sure on.
Yes.
I was curious on that fourth one there.
Yeah, it's weird to have a bachelor pad with someone who's 83.
Hey, he's just as much as a bachelor.
I guess. I mean,
More of a bachelor than you these days.
Wow. Oh, you're giving a shout out to the girlfriend. Like, I thought maybe you had heard something I hadn't. Anyway. So, all right. Yeah. So, yes, we have multiple trees. Now, next question is play at home. I'm not going to say best. I'm going to say your favorite holiday movie.
Ooh.
Your favorite
Tough.
holiday movie.
Tough. Christmas Vacation, hands down.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. God,
I'm literally married to Uncle Eddie, I swear.
Oh, Eddie. Don't you get all attached to it, because when we leave here next month. Yeah.
Great. I love it. So what is yours?
What do you have a runner-up?
Probably Home Alone, the original.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I honestly, I go off the beaten path.
Okay.
A lot of people don't like it for some reason, and if they don't, they don't. I like Fred Claus with Vince Vaughn.
Oh, it is good. That one is really funny.
I really like. I mean, I don't know how many times in that movie he says, "What are you, nuts?"
What is the movie that has
4 Christmases.
Oh, that one is funny. That's not the one I'm talking about.
Oh, which one are you talking about?
This one is Angelina Jolie was married to him. Billy Bob Thornton. What is it that he's in? Is it Bad Santa, maybe?
Yeah, but Angelina Jolie's not in it.
Well, no, but she was like with him.
Oh, yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, they were wearing
Yeah.
each other's. each
Yeah.
other's blood and a
weirdos.
necklace and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bad Santa.
Is that what it's called? That one's pretty funny too.
I'm too old to admit I like that movie because that's pervy. I'm like,
But it's hilarious.
well, yeah, that little blonde kid is the best. Santa? Yeah, Santa. Would you like a sandwich? Yeah, no. I know that. I know the one you're talking about.
No,
Yes.
I was gonna say my mother-in-law is obsessed with the Polar Express. Like, it is not Christmas until she watches. Like, it's so funny.
Hot chocolate.
Yeah.
You got it.
We went
Hot
out of town a
chocolate.
few weekends ago, and when we picked Carly back up from her house, she's like, "Mimi made me watch Polar Express."
What's wrong with that?
Because we've seen it so many times because she is obsessed. Obsessed. Before Carly was even here, once it got near Christmas, we would be at Sunday dinner, and Polar Express. No one's leaving until we all watch it together.
Here's a little sneak peek of what I do when I am in the elf outfit. Is one. This sounds manipulative, but it's not.
I feel like I need to be your helper one day and witness this.
Once I know I've got them in the palm of my hand, I and they're like, because I can see from when I get there, I can see the faces turning, going, this guy might be real.
Yeah, this might be legit.
And I'm like, okay, so let me just answer this question, and let me answer that question, and let me answer this and that, and whatever I'll answer. They ask the questions. I don't come in with
Right.
And I say, and at some point, typically, I will say, I'll say, hey, I will have to say this. I have been in a movie. I've been in a Christmas movie, and they're like looking at me, and I'm like, how many of you all have seen the Polar Express? All of their hands go up.
And there's like a million elves.
I know. And I said,
they're racking their brains trying to figure out which one you are.
Because my outfit is green. So I said, there's a scene where they are going into the North Pole. And you see all of the elves under the Polar Express running towards like Town Square or whatever.
Yeah.
Notice they are all in red outfits. Except next time you watch the movie, there are two.
Michelle's at home like, I've seen WG.
There are two on the right in green.
Is that real?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I noticed it like a few years ago, and I was like, oh, I should tell you about it.
Yeah, that's a winner right there. Because
And
they're going to go home and they're going to watch it and they're going to be like, oh my God.
And the thing about it
we
is,
met a real elf today.
and I tell him, okay, and just so you know, those aren't the real people. That's what's called animation, where it's like it's a beautifully done cartoon or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we had to be there for the filming, and I'm on the right with.
They accidentally caught me on the film.
But I'm surrounded with a friend of mine. Guess who that friend is? And they're like, who? Buddy the elf.
Buddy. That's hilarious.
And then they go, you know Buddy?
Gosh.
I'm like, I've known Buddy forever. Yeah. Because we're both the same size. And so we both had the same kind of problem. He's much taller than I am, but yeah, I mean, I know Buddy, and he is so wound up all the time, and I don't know how he survives with all that food that he eats.
It's all the sugar,
It makes
man.
my stomach hurt. But he can do it. I don't know how. And now they're looking at me going, I think this dude is real. This guy, I think, is a real thing.
He's worried about Buddy.
Yeah, and I'm
digestive health.
But I was like, yeah, that's because as we're running in on the Polar Express, it's just the backs of us. So it's like, could that be? And yeah, and I've had kids say, I thought that was you.
Of course. Of course.
Yes, and very quickly, the whole thing I tell them is, you've got elves on the shelf who I don't like. I mean, I tell them, I'm like, I'm not a big fan of the elf on the shelf.
Yeah.
The teachers will tell me the name, and when I get there, it's like, I'm like,
their
hey,
classroom
everybody, good to see you. And then I look at the elf on the shelf and I go, oh, hello, Mitzi. and they're looking at me like,
I love it, like of all the names in the world.
yeah, or Pixie or whatever. And and I'm like, hello. I'm like, look.
You guys should see like the scowl with the eyebrows.
There
right
are
now.
elves on the shelf, and then there are carpenter elves who build the toys. Let me just give you a heads up. We don't build all the toys. We don't build Nintendo Switches. We just don't. We buy Nintendo Switches and put them under the tree, but we don't build them. But your bikes and all that kind of stuff, that is North Pole material right there.
It's your
now,
carpenter.
That's the carpenter elf. I'm a scout elf. What I do is I live in this area all year round.
So you know that is like the premise for the elf on the shelf, right? That it's a scout elf
No, I
to
didn't know.
watch the children and report back to Santa.
But they're in that elf outfit all the time. My thing is, I go to Walmart. I go to
you're, like,
grocery
running the
stores.
roads, yeah.
Oh, I'm at the doctor's offices, and I'm at also.
Gotcha.
And I tell them, I'm like, my job is when I see a kid acting up, my job is I have to take a snapshot, and I send it to the North Pole.
Ooh.
I don't know who you are. I don't know your name. I don't know any of that stuff. They have the facial.
You've put the fear of Christmas into these children.
I'm like, but I tell them, I'm like, I don't have the facial recognition technology. They have that at the North Pole all year
just
round.
doing my job.
Because don't think in the summer we're
not
closed.
watching. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the time. So I'm a scout elf, so that's why. And this is the only time I ever wear this. You'll always see me in regular clothes, but you won't see me.
Well, I was going to ask, has anyone ever recognized you outside of the classroom?
A few years, it would have been pre-COVID. I was at the Huntington Mall, and it was very, very crowded. And I was at the main entrance, and I was leaving the mall. And I tell them, if you see me, don't say anything.
Yeah, don't call me
Yeah,
out.
don't. Yeah, exactly. And
I wish I could tell kids that. Just kidding.
and I
Kids
open
can talk to me.
and I open the door, and people are just going through, and I'm just kind of
Right,
holding the
right.
door for people. And here comes a mom, kind of pulling her kid through, and the kid is like, it doesn't. I can't tell if they want to leave or if they really want to leave. And they get up to the door, and we get up to they get up to the front
That
door.
reaction when you know that you have been had.
As she looks at me, and she looks up at me, and her eyes get huge.
Like, oh shit!
And
Let me get the step in. Let me do what mom says.
And I just all I did was just held up my finger, and went.
It's not creepy at all.
After I did it, I was like, God, I might be on Dateline NBC.
That's what I was gonna say.
That was really. I need to get a better reaction off that.
But I love that though because really she's probably never gonna forget that. Like,
But
oh my
I don't
gosh,
know.
I've seen the elf.
But she might have gotten in the car and went, see that guy over there?
God came to my school as a total creep.
First of all, number one, he came to our school. Number two,
me.
now, yeah. I mean, I'm only 9. Please. Mom, help. I mean,
Oh, shit.
I had no idea. I was like,
You're a mess.
I mean, I'm not kidding. After I got in my car, I went, oh, God, I could have really handled that better. So anyway, yes. So, yes, Elf is coming to the Huntington Tri-State Area. I have done I did kind of a loose count on the drive over, and I think I've done 34 different schools in Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia.
I love that.
I had to kind of learn the hard way a little bit.
Got to map that out, man.
And it's hard to say no. I mean, because of because I mean, I've had schools say we're in South Charleston, and I was just like, I can get there, I guess, on this date.
And these teachers, they love these kids, so they're wanting this experience so bad. I it's not the same, but I kind of face the same thing with Safety Town when people from out of our area,
Yeah.
they just don't, like, I absolutely want to teach your kid everything that I have to offer, but,
Yeah.
you know, sorry, we can't make it happen.
All right. So, all right. This is a little bit time sensitive, which we typically don't do, but Vanessa's got something very cool and exciting going on at Safety Town.
Oh, we do.
Yes, go ahead.
We do.
Tell us about it.
So we are doing, I say we as if it's not me. We are turning Safety Town into a winter wonderland. We've had, I think we're at like 22 sponsors at this point of trees. So we've got Christmas trees that are going to be judged by a special judge. We've got trophies for the winners. This is just a way.
Oh, wait, I am doing something. I forgot.
Are you?
Yeah, because I posted on your social media.
Are you going to do a tree?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm going to do it. I'll probably win it. Wait, I'm doing it.
So-
There's one on the 16th.
Yeah, we're going to do 2 nights. We're going to do Friday, which is this coming Friday. Is it the 8th? I think, maybe?
Yeah,
Oh, God,
I'm going to do.
Pardon my phone.
Yeah.
I should know these dates off.
I'm gonna-
Yeah, okay. Friday the 8th, and then we're going to do Saturday the 16th. We're going to have Santa. We've got the trees. Everything is lit up, which is why I was telling you earlier. My fingers are all cut from changing bulbs.
Yes, you can.
It's beautiful lit up. Like, I can't wait to share it with everybody.
You can count on a Star Wars based tree from the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine and Realty Exchange.
Thank you. And, I mean, we have some really cool ones.
And it's going to be one of those 1-footers.
I've got several 3-foot ones.
That's all right.
You just go with the 1 foot.
I've always heard size doesn't matter.
Some people say
Enough. That was inappropriate. Go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, no, like and it all leads back to the community again. Not to get all sappy again, but
Are the trees put up around the track?
so they're in what I call the islands, like where the grass is.
Okay.
You're gonna like essentially walk on the roads to view. This is a much smaller scale of Gallipolis lights. Like
Okay.
I've actually like talked to these people and asked them questions and pick their brains of like what works best on a much smaller scale.
Have you done this before?
I have never. So if it is terrible, please be easy on my ego, but I'm hoping that it's not.
Is
But
it free?
it is free.
Oh, wow.
It is free.
Do you take-
Our sponsors, we're going to take donations at the door just to help us make this bigger and better next year. If it's successful this year, I hope that it is.
Now, the trees, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
I'm the king. So the Christmas trees that we donate, are they for sale or are they raffled off? Or
We're not. I mean, I think we could
Or are
if
you just
there
gonna
is a
keep 'em?
desire. As of right now, if anyone wants their tree afterwards, they're allowed to take it back to their respective offices and decorate, yada, yada. But if they don't want them back, which a lot of people don't seem to want them back because it was trees that I purchased
Mm-hmm.
and they're just coming to donate and get their name out there, their organization, their whatever,
Mm-hmm.
then I will put them up for next year. But I would like to ideally get it to a point where we can use all real trees.
Oh, okay.
That way they can go into like the creeks and rivers and stuff and become a habitat for the fishies
Oh, wow.
later on.
Okay.
So I think that would be cool. But we have so many cool ones. We have a memorial tree for the Marshall,
Plane crash?
the plane crash,
Oh,
and
wow.
that one is amazing. It's beautiful. We've got Connie's Kids, which is the food pantry out of
Yeah.
what's that side of the bridge down there?
That side of the bridge down there.
The other side of the Proctorville Bridge, but in West Virginia. I never can remember what that
Point
is. Is it
Pleasant?
Altizer?
Altizer.
Altizer.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So
Guy
over
and Dot.
Guy and Dot. That's it.
Okay, there
So
you
she's
go.
over in Guy and Dot. She's the food pantry. We've got the bookstore that's at 14th Street West. We've got, of course, the Safety Town tree. We've got a law tree. We've got a fireman tree. We've got a policeman tree. We have all
What's
the
a
trees.
law? What's a law tree?
She's a lawyer, Alex White.
But what's on it?
Listen, that man knows how to market. You cannot even begin to imagine the amount of
But is it
ornaments.
gavels and stuff?
Oh, there's so many things. His tree is hilarious.
Oh, okay.
Like, I mean, it's phenomenal, but it's, yeah. Some people really went balls to the wall with these decorating, and it's really fun.
I'm going to have to step up my game on the Star
Yeah.
Wars tree.
It's really fun. I've had a blast hanging out with people as they've came and decorated the trees and watched me go up and down ladders and basically almost
so
kill myself.
the best thing to do is to get the tree, bring it down there with the ornaments, and decorate it there.
Yeah.
Don't
Because we have to
decorate.
stake it so
Okay.
the wind doesn't take it.
Wow, look at you with your wrapping
Listen,
skills.
it's a whole thing.
Okay.
It's a learning curve here
You
for
want to
sure.
continue to freestyle a little bit
No, I'm good. But you should definitely bring
gotta
your kids
stake
and
it.
see Santa.
so the wind don't take it. If the leaves fall down, we gonna rake it. We gonna make it.
You're a mess.
Yes.
I hope you dance like that for the kids. Do like some MC Hammer moves.
I go in with no plan, and they and that's what blows them away. Is they always have stuff on the walls and stuff like their little cubbies and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And
You're just looking at random names and shouting.
and I'm like, who is Timmy? And they just turn around. They're like,
And you know if it's a bad kid or not by everybody's reaction.
yeah, and
That's great.
And they're all pointing at him. And this is Timmy. I was like, Timmy, I like that cubby, buddy. Way to go.
Like, this is probably the best entertainment of the year for these teachers. I bet they just love
A lot of them
the
sleep.
crap out of it. Yeah, sometimes that happens at Safety Town.
A lot of them
It's a
take.
deserved break, honestly.
Yes.
They deserve it.
So anyway, all right, we're wrapping up. Hey, we've got the teachers episode coming up. That's going to be out before Christmas. Don't you
Yes.
worry about that because everybody's been asking about it. We got that, and we will be back early January. We've got a couple different topics that we'll have to think of.
Oh gosh, you
But
scare me when
send
you laugh like that.
send on the Facebook page your suggestions. We're always looking for suggestions of topics.
please.
And that kind of stuff. So
We love to talk. We just want to know what you guys want to hear us talk about.
exactly. So thank you so much to our sponsor. Who is that sponsor?
Our sponsor is Realty Exchange, the top-selling real estate company in the Huntington Tri-State Area, licensed in West Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, and Florida. You can find us online at realty-ex.com. We also have CoWorks, Huntington, West Virginia, where we record this show. And
Yes.
what's our last one?
And then we have our Circle 270 Media.
Oh, well, so
Yes.
yeah. Are we not doing the hot dogs this time?
We can.
Okay.
Yeah, John will throw some in there. So what we'll
Okay.
do is
Hang on, I'm going to look it up really quick. I'm going to find us a winner.
why don't we do this? We will give away a dozen Stewart's original hot dogs. How do you win? And again, the reason why we love Stewart's is because they ship everywhere in the country. So
Let's do, you have to go to our Facebook page,
right?
Huntington Tri-State Time Machine. Is it podcast? Is that in the?
Yeah, you'll find it that way.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Huntington Tri-State Time Machine. And you need to post a comment.
On your favorite Christmas movie.
And yeah, your favorite Christmas movie and why.
Yeah, and there's no right or wrong answer. Oh, actually, here's what we'll do. Let's do this. This is a little goofy. Your favorite Christmas movie and your favorite line
Ooh, I like that. Let's do that.
from that Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a favorite quote. Let's go that way. So
Yes.
And then on the next show, we will do a drawing and we'll ship out some Stewart's original hot dogs to you wherever you are. But again, thanks to Realty Exchange, Circle 270 Media, our podcast company. If you're doing a podcast or you're thinking about doing a podcast, give those people a call or a text or a email or a
Tweet. They're on all the things.
Yeah, just Google them and you can find them. Circle 270 Media. And that's it. Go to the Facebook page and check us out. And I got a text the other day from a friend of mine, a very, very dear friend of mine from college, who wanted to say congratulations on us being one of the top 10 podcasts in West Virginia.
That's pretty cool.
And he said he had no idea how I could have something to do with that. But anyway.
That's funny because someone told my husband the other day that you're so lucky that I hang out with you and do this.
Yeah.
I said, that's true. That's true. WG's lucky.
I know. All of her invoices continue to pile
All
up.
of my nonsense.
So
I don't know why you keep hanging out with me.
All right, did you have a good time?
I did. Did you?
Yeah, I always have a great. I had a great time. Also, and finally, Kiss is done. I love you boys. They're not listening to this, but I got so much feedback from that last Kiss concert, and it's.
I forgot you did that.
Yeah, and it was a very bittersweet moment. So I got to move on. So now I'm really into Korean pop.
Shut up.
Okay.
With that, we are out of here.
Thanks for listening to the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Realty Exchange, the top performing real estate company in the Huntington, West Virginia Tri-State Area. If you have a memory you would want WG to talk more about, just send him an email at memories@htstimemachine.com or post a comment on the Time Machine Facebook group page. Did you like this episode? Be sure to share it with friends and family. You can find a link in the show notes that you can use to share it. And be sure to let Realty Exchange know that you like the podcast as well. Their contact information can be found in this episode's show notes.